yo rub-a-dub subs, it's Blackmetalwerewolf making a brand new video for you this week. And today I want to talk about something a little different. You see, last month was the 6-year anniversary of the passing of one of my best friends. And I've been thinking a lot about it over the past month, and I just thought I would like to make a tribute video towards him. Mostly because him and I met on like the first day of high school, and at that time I knew something about metal, but not that much. But we quickly became friends, and then we both kind of explored a lot of metal together. So I just feel like it was kind of fitting to do a tribute video to him with someone who I would consider to be my brother in heavy metal. So I met him when I was 14, it was like the first day of high school. So if you can imagine me even scrawnier and a bit shorter, I remember the first day of high school I was wearing like a Marilyn Manson t-shirt, and I have no idea what kind of fucking statement I was trying to make by wearing that, but that's what I wore the first day of high school. Like, I was completely alone because I had chosen to go to the public high school in town, whereas all my other friends had chosen to go to the Catholic high school in town. So I was walking into this place with zero friends, no one to talk to. It was pretty scary and intimidating for a scrawny little 14-year-old. Anyway, so I accidentally showed up to homeroom a little late, but which didn't help the situation any better, trying to make friends. So I walk in there, like, miss the first 5 minutes of it. I sit down in the back of the room with the Marilyn Manson t-shirt, and I look over and I saw this other kid with kind of long hair, and he was wearing a Metallica t-shirt. Now, we were both pretty small at the time, but we just kind of sized each other up. And after the bell rang and we were leaving homeroom, he came up to me and he said, "So you like Marilyn Manson?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's really cool. I think he has some really good songs. I see you like Metallica." And at the time, I didn't really know much about Metallica. I was just trying to say that to sound like impressive in front of him. But he's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen Metallica twice, and I've seen Slayer, and I've seen Megadeth and all this." And he's like 14 and he's seen all these fucking bands. And so I was like super impressed by that. So needless to say, we immediately hit it off. Unfortunately, we didn't have any classes together, but every homeroom we would always like sit together and talk about metal and shit. So that was really nice to be able to essentially make a friend so quickly, just pretty much over the similar tastes in like music. Granted, Marilyn Manson and Metallica aren't very similar, but kind of in the same genre-ish, if you can kind of put it that way. But it was nice to actually have someone to talk to. So anyway, as we got to know each other more, at the time I really only knew about Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie. I didn't have like such a big variety of music in my collection at the time because I was just a little kid, right? Anyway, he would like bring me CDs and let me like listen to them and bring them home. And then it got to the point where we were hanging out outside of school. And a lot of times, since I lived so close to the school on lunch, we'd go to my place and he'd bring CDs and we'd listen to them together and we'd talk about it and we'd play video games. So it quickly grew into a very good friendship. And I specifically remember, I think it was his 16th birthday, he came to school one day and he's like, "Oh man, you're never gonna believe what my parents got for me." I'm like, "Oh, tell me all about it." And he pulled out of his backpack the album Twilight of the Thunder Gods by Amon Amarth. That's why I'm wearing my Amon Amarth t-shirt here. And he's like, "You gotta listen to this." So I took it out of his hands and I just saw that amazing artwork with, Thor fighting Jormungandr. And I just thought, first of all, it was just amazing artwork, and like, we gotta listen to this, we gotta listen to this. And that just really goes to show what kind of person he was. You know, it was his fucking birthday, his parents got him something, and he brings it to school to give to me. So first of all, I didn't really feel right taking his birthday present, so I said, "Man, come over to my place on lunch, we'll fucking listen to it together." So that's exactly what we did. We went fucking home. On my lunch, we went down to my room in the basement and Jen just fucking cranked it. We didn't get through the whole album, but we like pick and choose some songs that we thought were cool, like Where's Your God, Twilight of the Thunder Gods, Guardians of Asgard, Embrace of the Endless Ocean, and we just totally rocked out to it and talked about it, and really just got into the feeling of Amon Amarth, and then we both became pretty obsessed with Amon Amarth and wanting to listen to them more and more. And then of course, as we got more into the internet, we were able to find more bands, and I introduced him to Gwar, then he introduced me to Obituary, and like we just like really bonded over metal. It was such an amazing feeling. And something a bond I don't think I've ever really had with anybody else since he unfortunately passed away. One thing that really sucked is him and I never really got a chance to go to a concert together, because before I met him I had never gone to any concerts, but then after I met him he told me about all these amazing experiences he's had, all these cool bands, all these stories about going to concerts, and I was just so jealous and so impressed by it. But we never got a chance to go to a concert together, which really fucking blows. But, you know, he's one of the reasons I wanted to go to so many concerts, because I want to have all those cool experiences too. And now I do have all these fun stories to tell people when they ask me if I've ever gone to shows. Him and I have also, before he passed, had ideas of starting a band together, but unfortunately that never fleshed out. Mostly because I have zero fucking talent, and he had all this talent. He could play bass, he could play guitar, he could play drums. I don't think he could sing, but I'm sure if he tried, he could probably be really good at it. Whereas the best I can do is kind of write lyrics, and even though I'm not even that good at that. So if we did start a band together, it wouldn't have lasted. It's just the fact that, you know, two buddies who listen to metal, who doesn't want to start a band together with your best friend? Like, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. So after high school, I decided not to go to college. I just wanted to go into the workforce so I could get some money, so I can get my own place. But he decided to go to college, and he decided to go for music, which was a pretty fitting thing for him to go for. So he went off a couple hours away to another city to go into college, and I just got a job and shit. But of course we stayed in contact. We still talked about music through Facebook and stuff like that, which is, you know, one of the wonders of the internet. You can still stay connected with people. And he came back for one of his breaks, and we hung out then, and it was great to see him again. And then he went back, and then he came back for his the Christmas break. And so I saw him a couple times during that, and it was fantastic. And I remember one evening I was just wasting time on Facebook, and I got a notification saying that, you know, Keegan had posted on your Facebook page. So I went there, and he had this big thing about, hey man, I just discovered this band. I think you'd really like them. It's a badass band, definitely check them out. And he left a link, and it was a link to the Celtic Frost song, A Dying God Coming into Human Flesh. So I clicked on it, watched it, absolutely loved it, sent him a message saying, you know, man, thank you so much for that recommendation. I definitely have to check out more of this band called Celtic Frost. You know, I really appreciate you sending me that. He's like, no problem, man. I'll talk to you later. I'm actually about to head out the door. Me and my friends are going back to college tonight. Now, I don't know if you guys know much about Canadian winters, but it can get pretty bad, especially in that part of Ontario that we were. So the next day, I ended up getting another Facebook notification from somebody else saying, just so you know, there was an accident last night, and almost everyone that was in that car died. Essentially what happened was, on their way back, it started freezing rain and coated the road in ice, and they hit a patch of ice and they went into oncoming traffic, and only one person from that car crash survived. I am very thankful that that person survived, because, you know, 3 people already died. Thank God it wasn't 4. But unfortunately, one of the people that did die was my buddy Keegan. So that really fucking hurt, knowing that my best friend, who literally, the last time I talked to him, gave me another band recommendation, was then gone forever. I really couldn't understand it at the time. That was the first time I'd really met a real personal death. Like, I know people who died before, but I didn't, like, you know them that well. But then my best friend just fucking died. So that really hit me really fucking hard. And after that, I became a very bitter and angry person for a couple years. But after a while, I just kind of said to myself, you know, Keegan wouldn't want me to be this bitter, miserable motherfucker. Like, let's not be like this. And I was able to get over it. It did take a while, but, you know, it just hurts so much to have your best friend ripped from you like that. It sucks that someone who I think had so much to offer the world had their life cut short. But, you know, some days you walk downtown, you see drunks and drug addicts sitting on the street all passed out and hungover, but your best friend who had so much to offer is gone. But, you know, these people around. That was my view at the time, and to a little degree I still hold on to that kind of feeling, but not nearly as much. But, you know, it really fucking hurt, but that your best friend is gone. But I am very happy that I was able to get to know him and become best friends with him, and that we were able to teach each other so much. He taught me a lot more than I taught him, but still, I'm glad we were able to kind of have that impact on each other's lives. I really hope this video wasn't too much of a bummer or a bring down, because to me, I guess this is kind of therapeutic, because I never really talked to anyone about this. Not that anyone in my life would really listen or care. It's like I could go up to someone at work and tell them this story. But I figured, you know, if I could share this story of metal brotherhood with anyone, it would kind of be my audience here on YouTube. I just feel that he was such a great person, he had such an impact on my life, that I should spread the word of my best friend who introduced me to so much metal in the world. Now, I certainly hope I didn't bring anyone down too much with this video, but I would kind of like to hear your guys' stories of, I guess, metal brotherhood. You know, someone you kind of created a bond with. Do you guys have someone like that in your life? And if so, I certainly hope they haven't passed away like my friend did. As like a relative, like a brother, a sister, a parent, uncle, or a friend you met when you were younger. Do you have anyone like that in your life? Please let me know. I'd love to hear your guys' stories of metal brotherhood and togetherness. So now that I think about it, I kind of think that maybe me recommending albums for you guys is kind of my way of trying to inspire you the way my friend inspired me to listen to more metal. So here's another recommendation for you guys. The artist is Nocturnal Hollow. The album is The Nuances of Death. I picked this up the other day from Sunrise Records. I listened to it and I really enjoyed it, and I think a lot of you guys will enjoy it too. And just so everyone knows, I understand the irony of me recommending an album called The Nuances of Death after talking about my friend who died. I understand the irony, so don't bother pointing it out. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video. Check out some of my past videos and share them with a few of your friends while you're at it. If you want to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I also have a P.O. box open. All of that info is down in the description. I also have a handful of patches left for sale, so if you'd like to get your very own, you can click right over here. There's also a link down in the description. Overall, thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay brutal.